What perfect timing. If not, at least a little bit obvious, but regardless, let's keep this little Sonic train going, shall we? So, I don't know. Sonic Lost World. No crazy story on this one, to be honest. I went to the store, saw it was on the shelf, so decided to pick it up. Yeah. Funny enough, though, I almost did the same thing with Sonic Boom, because I just went to Walmart, just happened to see it on the shelf, went to take it to the counter, and they wouldn't let me buy it, because as they scanned it, it was actually the day before it was actually supposed to be released. Someone just put it on the shelf a day early for whatever reason, so they wouldn't let me buy it. So, joke's on you, couldn't get my money for that piece of crap.
Sega.
So Sonic Lost World sort of pulls a Mario Odyssey, or I guess Odyssey pulled a Lost World, with Sonic and Tails in mid-conflict with Eggman. After shooting down the tornado, Sonic and Tails land on what is apparently known as the Lost Hex. As Sonic and Tails navigate the place, Eggman goes about hatching his latest scheme alongside these new peeps known as the Deadly Six, consisting of Zaz, Zavik, Xena, Master Zik, Zomom, Zor, yeah, them. So, yeah, it's a Sonic plot for the most part, but I think this might be one of the few Sonic games, if not really the only one, to really hold an actual arc for one of its characters, more specifically, Tails. After Sonic yeets the magic conch that controls the Deadly Six, Eggman loses control and they become the primary antagonist for the rest of the game. And it's through Sonic's impulsive actions and through the unlikely team-up of Sonic with Eggman that Tails starts to feel like his intellect and feelings get constantly betrayed. It doesn't go too deep as it pretty much wraps itself up with very little conflict, but it's still interesting that they can write a character with internal turmoil without it seeming forced or outright ridiculous. Visually and musically, I'm very mixed. Coming off the heels of Super Mario Galaxy, many of the level structures are set around multiple isolated sequences with a variety of layouts. 3D layouts, 2D sequences, auto-run sections with traditional hallway-like sections, running along the outside of a long cylinder, allowing for numerous layouts in one particular section, traversing the innards of a tube, defying gravity and ruining your stomach if you got motion sickness. I kind of like the variety, but the graphics is just a little meh. I don't know. Colors impressed me because it was on the Wii, but Lost World doesn't really feel like a step forward in any way graphically. I do kind of like the designs of the Deadly Six, even if their names are pretty forgettable. They're different enough from Sonic and Company to actually feel kind of alien, but still cartoony enough to kind of give it that, Sega cartoon vibe, so I can appreciate that. As for the music, it's just music. Honestly, Lost World might easily be one of the most forgettable, if not least favorite in general, soundtrack out of the entire Sonic series. I didn't even like that opening as well. It was just boring. But let's talk about the game. This is modern Sonic, but this is not the boost formula Sonic. In fact, Lost World is more a traditional platformer rather than a stereotypical Sonic platformer. For starters, holding down the stick doesn't have Sonic move at his full speed. He actually has a designated run button. Even with it, he still feels leagues slower than most of his other games. He comes equipped with his usual moves like spin dashes, double jumps, and the homing attack, but with some tweaks. There's an actual separate button for the homing attack, which can feel a little strange, but you'll get over it. As well, homing attacks can target multiple enemies at once, or you can charge it up against a stronger opponent to deal more damage with one homing attack. Newly added is the punt kick. Some enemies can't be hit by homing attacks, so you have to use the punt kick. It's not explained very well in-game, and there's a general lack of just anything resembling a tutorial or easing the player into the menu mechanics. When a specific scenario pops up, you'll have to click on the very tiny icon on the gamepad, then read a very short description on the specific action. Sometimes though, in the heat of the moment, you can't really find the opportunity to check that stuff out. Much like arguably Lost World's biggest feature, Sonic's run button should be more accurately described as his parkour button. While using it, Sonic will vault over small ledges, run up walls, as well as run alongside them, letting you jump to the opposite side to retain momentum. Judging by that very lame opening, I think Sega wanted the parkour to make you feel like a badass, that you'd be flipping around and doing all kinds of crazy stuff. But instead, the parkour in this game feels more like...
Parkour! Michael, parkour! Parkour!
Extreme!
Parkour! Parkour! Yeah! Parkour! Yeah! Andy! Leap! Go!
Go! Do me!
Yeah! Okay! Yeah! Parkour!
Get off!
Parkour!
Get off!
Okay.
Parkour! Parkour!
Jump over the camera. Jump over the camera.
Sonic is all over the place in terms of his effectiveness with his parkour. He'll sometimes grab ledges I don't feel like I'm near, sometimes he'll just drop like a ton of bricks, sometimes he'll run into a corner of a wall or ceiling and just won't let go, sometimes he'll just drop from a regular wall run. It is such a finicky system and can be super frustrating. Sonic Colors just felt like he had problems in the air. Here, Sonic's got problems everywhere. Wisps also return from Colors. Laser, Rocket, Drill, and Hover reappear from Colors, alongside Hawk, which basically acts like an on-rails hover, Asteroid, which kinda acts like Frenzy but can go through special portals, and Music, which can hop around notes to travel over long distances. The problem here is that most basically use either the gyroscope or the touchscreen to control. Laser is a pain to aim, so I usually just line myself right in front of a crystal to negate the need for aiming. Drill controls fine-ish, but my big old hands block the touchscreen as I'm trying to control it, and Hawk just doesn't feel right to use with the gyroscope. But I mean, at least the boss fights are unique and interesting. Well, almost all of them. Damn it. I just want to say one section fully positive. Ugh. What feels like for every one good fight, there's also a bad one. Each zone has 2 levels at least dedicated to a boss fight to some degree, which is pretty cool. Though the final fight with, spoilers, Eggman, feels very underwhelming since there's nothing really special about the fight. Red Rings return that also let you unlock Supersonic again, but collecting them also serves as an extra purpose. You see, Lost World encourages defeating baddies and collecting animal capsules, since the final stages of every zone are locked out depending on how many animals you've saved. So by collecting red rings, you can also unlock special minigames that will earn you a lot of animals. The payout's nice, but I hate the games. Ugh. Don't get me wrong, I love a good breakout clone as much as the next guy, and using the touchscreen to control the platform is fine enough. There's just so much shit that pops out of the popped balloons, and Sonic, Tails, or Cubot are so goddamn tiny that I end up dropping them all the time, way more than I want to. So yeah, after coming back and playing Colors and Lost World back to back, I'd have to say that I prefer Colors a lot more. Hell, there's even a severe quality difference with their ending credits too. Now, the obvious inspiration coming from Super Mario Galaxy is very apparent, as I'm sure lots of people have already mentioned by this point. But just because you copy a Galaxy doesn't make your game out of this world. What was that? Where Mario did have some gimmicks with his gameplay, the game did progressively ease you into each of its challenges, teaching the player as they go. With Lost World, you're just thrown right into the deep end without any life-preserving donuts or whatever going on, and no means to teach the player what to do. Now, I kind of get what they're aiming for with this kind of platformer, but it's not for Sonic, so if Sonic never ever does this kind of thing ever again, I'll be fine. But anywho, thank you all so much for watching. If you like what you saw, you can click right up here to check out some of my other videos that I've done. Or, if you really feel like it, you can click right up here to subscribe. And until next time, guys, I will see you all later.